Is a Kaspa short squeeze coming the same way we had long liquidations a couple weeks ago on the largest event crypto has ever seen? The same happens on the reverse when the price action starts going and there is a lot of shorts they have to cover. Is that coming for Kaspa? In this video, I'm going to break down my own research and I'll show you the sources from the article. We're going to go over if I think a short squeeze is coming and if I'm bullish on the chart right now. As always, cryptocurrency is extremely risky and none of this is ever financial advice, so always do your own research. Now let's get into Kaspa. Here is the article posted from Captain Altcoin on coinmarketcap.com. KAS price could surge if 30M shorts get squeezed. And what they were referencing was Kaspa Daily this post. Over 30 million worth of Kaspa short positions are set to be liquidated if the price reaches a 0.064 level. So this is very, very interesting because I'm somebody that has had a long-term conviction in Kaspa. Like I said, I just reached shark status. That is a new tier that I am very proud of. I bought as low as 2 or 3 cents and I bought as high as 20 cents on KRC20. Guys, I have conviction in Kaspa and I'm trying to spread the word of Kaspa on my own as much as I possibly can. Just had an interview with George from Cryptos R Us, 850K subscriber YouTube channel. I was talking to them about Kaspa and how I think it's a better alternative than Solana or anything else that we have for real world tokenized assets. But if you would like to support, join the private group, less than $1 a day using code KASPA70. That's 70% off forever. Like I said, less than $1 a day. We have our own Kaspa section. I always talk about what am I longing, what am I shorting. We talk about memes, we talk about stocks, we talk about prediction markets. Guys, it's a ton of fun. I would love to see you there. But my conviction is unwavered when it comes to Kaspa. But there is not everyone that agrees with me because as we could see here, there is obviously 30-something million in shorts. But whenever I started coming to do my own research, what I seen is that even though there are a lot of shorts built up, that is true, what we just seen on this image right here and what the article was referencing. However, it is being outweighed drastically and always has by longs. Okay, I mean, if this right here is looking at the weighted funding rate, and for anyone that doesn't do perpetual futures trading and you're curious what funding rate is, basically this is who is paying who. If the funding is being done by the shorts and they have to pay this to the longs, or the longs other way around. Basically what it means, a positive funding rate means there are more longs in the market. A negative funding rate means that there are more shorts in the market. And you can see very few times has Kaspa had more shorts in the market. You can see right here, it is pretty heavy long right now. And so whenever we come over here to the open interest, you could see that it was around 200 million in open futures interest. And after that liquidation event, this fell down to 54 million, guys. That's 75% of the overall open interest, guys, gone overnight. That's a pretty big thing. And so I do believe that this sets up for a short squeeze potential. And I want to take a look at the chart, but we do have a ton of shorts built up. Now they are being outweighed by the longs that we could see right over here in the funding rate. However, that does not stop them from having to cover if a short squeeze was coming. And so whenever we're coming over here, taking a look at KAS, 1.37B market cap, guys, anyone in the Discord knows that I bought yesterday and I'm seeing a good amount of volume. Actually, I was actually very pleased to see all of this. Look, we've got over 2 mil volume, 7 mil volume. This is on centralized exchanges, and you can see the #1 volume is coming from Gate.io, who I believe owns the #1 wallet that I mentioned in this video. I'll link it at the end so you can go watch that about who the new #1 holder is and why I believe it is Gate.io. But I also will dig into that for everybody that's wanting me to look at it a little bit deeper. But let's come over here and kind of take a look at Kaspa, guys. I'm not wanting to get zoomed in on the hour or even less than that, even the 4 hour. I want to look at the daily. I want to look at the weekly because this is a long-term conviction play for me, as I showed right here. I bought as high as the tip. I bought as low when I found it, and I'm buying now. So this is something I have long-term conviction in. So a 10% drop, a 10% increase does not change my opinion one way or another. But you can see this right here is a RSI divergence indicator, okay? And this basically calls the top pretty daggum good. So this is an indicator that I'm wanting to start using more. It also calls bull okay. I wouldn't rely on it as much for that. I would do more manual analysis, but for the bear, it's at least something to say, ooh, you know what? I need to look into that just a little bit more. Let me look into it a little bit more. But you can see when we're coming over here to the RSI, and this is an indicator that I recommend everyone learning how to use because it is just so simple. And sometimes traders can really mess themselves up by being too overcomplicated. Whenever you look at a chart and it looks like you're trying to figure out, who did a crime, and it's like crime scene with all these lines going everywhere, guys, that's too confusing. Sometimes the simplest of the simple does it right. And so you can see right here, if somebody was just to draw a trend line right here to say, hey, most of the time RSI peaks right here, most of the time the low ends right here. This is very, very easy type of technical analysis. But you can see on the weekly, we are pretty burned down on the RSI. We're pretty much at a very, very low level. When we come over here to the weekly time frame, excuse me, the previous one was the daily, you can see we are bouncing off this low that we had back here, that first wick that we got to about 5.5 cents back here. So the chart looks bottom to me. I mean, does that mean it's not going to go lower? No, it doesn't. Never financial advice. This is just what I'm personally doing. But I do think we are in a good overall place. Whenever we come over here and take a look at all of crypto, you can see BTC hanging above 110. Ethereum still under 4K. So we definitely have some work to do, because one of the most alarming things that I have seen is this right here, what I found. When we come over here and take a look at open interest, and we can see that from that event right there, it went from 206 million down to 50. Guys, that is, 75% of open interest in Kaspa just gone, liquidated. Don't know where they're at right now. Maybe they're eating ice cream. Maybe they're in the stock market. Maybe they don't have anything to trade with anymore. But that is something that will take a while to bounce back from. But as long as we see this volume increase, this is something that I'm looking. If you kind of draw a line right here at this 50 level, you could see that's kind of been the bottom for a long time. And so what I want to see, I want to start seeing some big spikes in this. We need to see this start trending upwards more, which we are starting to see. But that's just something that I'm looking for. More volume. I want to really take a look at this open interest to start ticking up, all while maintaining eyes on the funding rate, staying positive. But I'll also, at the same time, want to be able to go and see how much shorts are there. Because if we get over this 6.5 cent range, that is where a lot of these shorts are going to be liquidated. So if we take a look at what that would look like on the chart, you could see we'll be breaking past this right here. And it might be better if I kind of draw a little zone. So you could see right here, always come find where these touch points were. So you see this one's a little higher than this one, but let's encapsulate all of it. So let's grab that one and let's come down to this one. And you could see that is kind of my zone right there. That's kind of what I want to be watching for in order for purchases. But whenever it comes to possible resistance, this is definitely a key level that we got to get over right here. And so if we are to clear that, it should be a ton of shorts liquidated. And once we are able to reclaim this 9-10 cent level, I really think it's on for Kaspa. We're going to get some more exchange listings, I'm hoping. Coinbase, Binance spot listing, guys, it's coming. But let me know, do you think we've got a short squeeze coming, or do you think we're just going to consolidate around here for a while? Let me know down in the comments. Watch this video up above, and if you're not a part of the Finance Freeman family, what are we doing? Subscribe. I love you all.